23-year-old Emil Hill shot dead in the south side of Chicago while walking onto his front porch.
Well, Fox News political analyst Gianno Caldwell is a close friend of the victim's sister. There he is. You see him live. He's calling on the federal government and the president to act. Gianno, good morning. I'm so sorry about this violence impacting your family. I know it's not the first time. You've been very open in talking about that. I want to get your thoughts, big picture on that, the personal angle, before we get into the politics. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, Ed, I have some devastating news for America. And that is, standing on your own front porch in the city of Chicago can equate to a death sentence. My very dear friend, Wendy Hill, we went to 8th grade together, reached out to me this past Sunday to let me know that her brother, Emil Hill, was killed on their family's front porch. This was a young man who wasn't involved in guns, violence, or drugs. This was a young man who wanted to be an asset to his community and his country. And I am pissed the hell off. I'm frustrated and angry that we continue to see stories like this. And I got to tell you, this is very, very personal to me. As you mentioned, Ed, my family has experienced violence in Chicago.
Absolutely.
And what I'm doing now is asking that President Trump, if he's listening right now, keep your commitment to the people of Chicago. You made a commitment in 2017. You said if Chicago doesn't fix its carnage, you would send in the feds, and to me that's federal resources. And I'm hoping that he would assign the Attorney General and the FBI Director to put together a comprehensive plan on stopping the violence in Chicago and sending
maybe get the National Guard and other assets.
You're saying. Gianno, you're right. You have a right to be pissed. Let's show you the numbers. All right, this is the gun violence in Chicago this year. 1,707 shooting incidents in 2019, 475 gun deaths in 2018. Gianno, be a little more specific because you're at ground zero on this violence. What, if you get the federal resources, if the president's listening, what else do they need to do?
Well, first and foremost, the city's leadership has failed. They failed under Rahm Emanuel, and they're failing under the new mayor, Lori Lightfoot. This is a time for them to put egos and politics aside because there's human life on the line. This is an American city. We shouldn't have to have these discussions on a day-to-day basis. There's a daily piercing threat for those who walk down the street in Chicago. President Trump said in 2016, you walk down the street in Chicago and you get shot, and people got upset about it. Well, for so many people that live in that city, it's a daily reality. And now with the current teacher strike, you have students who are staying home. So whereas in the summer you see an uprising of the violence, you can also see that in this current time because you don't have any kids in school. You have teachers that are on strike. This is not a game. People's lives are on the line. And we cannot acquiesce to the engulfing of the fear and despair in which people feel on a day-to-day basis in the city of Chicago. We need the help of the Trump administration, and we need it now.
Well, and Gianno, sometimes you wake up on, here we are Sunday, but on Monday when all the stats in from a weekend, and one single weekend there could be dozens of people shot, thankfully not all killed, but wounded, children sometimes caught in the crossfire. You're from that general area. Give us a closing thought about what you want to happen in the days ahead.
Well, the truth be told, I think the leaders in Chicago have made everything political. They don't want to stand arm to arm with the Trump administration to combat this crisis because that's simply what it is. Everyone must work together on this issue, and I think President Trump, as he's offered help and support before, should continue to do so, and the city leadership should absolutely accept.
Gianno, we reached out to the White House. They have not gotten back to us. We will let you know if they do, and if the White House calls you, let us know. Our thoughts are with you there.
And I'm working with them too. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
thank you so much for this time.
Best to your family. Thank you.
Allow me to highlight this story. Thank you.
All right. Meanwhile.